All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what the Career Center actually is and what it does. So we have a Career Center physical location, which is in Sage Hall. We also have career offices in Discovery Park at UNT Frisco. We have an office in the Business Leadership Building. We also have career coaches embedded in your college administration offices, like in CLASS, College of Liberal Arts and Science, Health and Public Safety and Criminal Justice, College of Visual Arts and Design, and the College of Music. So what is very good to of as you're getting started is that you have a particular career coach that specializes in your area of interest. So you can connect with your career coach and they have more specialized insight on the employers that are connected to UNT in preparing for your career in your specialized area. So that is one thing that is unique, is that we have kind of a hub and spoke approach where we do have a main career center. We have a very expansive virtual site where you can access resources anytime, but you do have access to a coach that specializes in your area. So right now we are operating virtually, and we do have coverage in our offices. So by checking out our website, you can see what our schedule is, when we're there, how to make an appointment with us, and even sign up for daily chats. No appointment necessary. You can just hop on and a career personnel will help you with a quick question. So that is always an option for you. And our main hours are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. So what are some of the things that we do in the Career Center? Just to kind of understand that Career Services is a name that we call it in the university, but it's really a mindset that we have throughout UNT that everything is in preparation for you to better yourself, achieve your goals, grow, expand, gain leadership opportunities, the degree that you need to get where you want to go. You're going to hear about career services, hopefully in some of your classes, in your department, and through other services. The graduate school has made a strong commitment to provide career services. So you're going to be, we don't just stand alone in what we're doing. We partner with faculty, we partner with your programs to provide these services and provide opportunities to be more prepared. So if you're interested in student employment, if you're interested in working on campus, and virtual is fine, that's the environment that we are in currently. We have individual coaching appointments. We have internship coordinators who can help you secure your internship, report your internship, meet the requirements of your program. We have a service website that has virtual resources, lots of documents, templates, and all those kinds of things, up-to-date career information that we parse out and try to put up there. We're advertising events, we're advertising career fairs. If you meet with a coach, some of the things that we work on are practicing interviewing, creating your resume, creating a CV if you are interested in academic experiences. We have business cards that we can print for you. We can do a professional photo for LinkedIn or other purposes. And one of the main things that I want to share with you today is the relationship that we have with employers. So employers with UNT and they advertise their opportunities on our platform called Handshake. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Handshake, but there is a commitment from these employers to hire UNT graduates, hire UNT students, hire them for internship opportunities. So we're developing these relationships with these employers, and we work pretty hard to have opportunities to meet with them. So that is one thing that we do in the center, is provide opportunities for you to meet with employers are in your area of interest. So next, I want to talk about getting connected. So I mentioned Handshake. What is Handshake? Handshake is how you apply for on-campus jobs, part-time, full-time jobs. your career jobs during school and after school. This is where internships are promoted and advertised. You can register for our career events on Handshake. So we have fairs, we have individual events, and then we have professional networking and professional workshops that are all available to you. So I would definitely check out our schedule and look for those opportunities to join with us. And I would say start that early. So to create a account is very easy. You should have like a preloaded part ready as long as you're registered for classes. Use your UNT information to set up an account, and then you can work goes on to create a more robust profile in Handshake. And you can actually designate that you are okay with employers looking at your profile and possibly contacting you. So as time goes on, I would definitely suggest taking the time to improve your Handshake profile and make sure that it's filled out as much as possible. Another system that I want you to be aware of is Navigate EAB. So this system is how you make an appointment with a career coach. So this is how you will connect. You will know who your career coach is. You will know who your internship coordinator is. You can view their availability and you can schedule an appointment. So it's very easy to navigate. And the information is there. And again, I will provide PowerPoint so you can know exactly where those tutorials are. They are also on our Career Center website. So now I'm going to talk about some areas I'd like you to consider as you're starting your program. And so I've put some of these steps that you can take, kind of lump them in different categories: coaching, research and networking, and then also an experiential learning experience, an internship, a job shadowing, and so forth. That's very, very important. And it does take time to be deliberate and intentional in figuring out how you're going to make that happen, to find out what opportunities they are. So with coaching, again, this is where you would meet one-on-one with a coach from your college, and you might cover activities, come up with some strategic plan together to create your resume, to learn how to write effective cover letters, to really fine-tune any employer communications, to practice interviewing. If you have an interview coming up, you can schedule an appointment to do a practice interview. And what I do is when that happens, I do a little bit of research. I ask the student for the job description, and I kind of act as if what an employer might. And because I work with employers, they let us know what some of the things they're looking for, some of the questions they might ask, and how to frame, and we work on how to frame those in the best possible way. So practice is very, very helpful. I recommend meeting with a coach. I recommend meeting once per semester if that's helpful for you. Some of you may be fine with our website resources, but if you'd like to meet one-on-one, and we meet via Zoom and limited in the office currently, but once a semester is really helpful to make sure you're on track. I work with students to create a career timeline and a career plan so they can see what goals they would like to achieve as they move through their program. So this is all in tandem to your academic program. So we're working together so that when you graduate, you've achieved a lot of these steps, a more seamless transition to actually actively applying if you're going into a new job after you graduate or a new career. So another area I want to bring attention is some of the researching and networking activities that you can do to prepare. So we've talked about Handshake. We've talked about attending career fairs and events and workshops. Another area that I'd like you to think about is LinkedIn. You know, what does your profile look like? Could it use some work? Does it reflect what you're doing right now and what your future goals are? And we have resources to help you really make your LinkedIn profile, the best it can be, and to use LinkedIn for networking. LinkedIn is one of the number one tools that I would suggest for networking. In addition to LinkedIn, Glassdoor, I would recommend familiar with Glassdoor. Glassdoor is a website where you can read employer reviews, read about the company's culture, read about reported interview questions and things that have been asked of potential candidates to get a better understanding of what they might be looking for so you can be most prepared. Another option that is really, really helpful is there is a alumni finder. So we're going to maybe show some screenshots here towards the end of the session, but you can actually look up UNT alum that have studied your particular program or are working at a corporation that you would like to work at, and possibly connect with them. You can see if they can offer you any tips, maybe even do an informational interview. So it's really helpful, and it's quite easy to find. There's currently on our UNT LinkedIn alumni page, there's over 200,000 that have active profiles. So there's people out there that are in the UNT family that are usually very, very willing to talk to you about your career and your career path. Another website, if you haven't heard of it already, is called ONET. ONET is a repository of career data. It is one of the most comprehensive tools that we have, and you can find out so much information on ONET. You can find out basically of any career title, what a person is reported doing, what skills are most important, what softwares and technologies are most important, salary information. You can find job things, and then you can also be connected to all the professional organizations associated with that profession. So you can think about possibly joining a professional organization. It's much cheaper to do it as a student. So getting a student membership sometimes is the best way to go. And then sometimes when you finish your program, you can get a discount on a first-year membership as a graduate. So I would suggest looking at these resources and finding out what professional organizations are associated with your area of study. And this is also something that you can talk to your professors about and learn more about what the standards are, so you can keep current in your area of study. So lastly, on this page, completing an internship and gaining experience. So you may be in a program that requires an internship. It requires clinical hours or some sort of experience project, but maybe not. That is something that you can choose to do, not even for credit. You can actually, with this virtual environment, we have worked with companies to create virtual internships. So maybe your program does not require an internship. We have opportunities for you to connect with employers and do some sort of virtual experience. So it might be a one day, it might be a week, it might be an entire semester where you work virtually with an employer, you are mentored, you're in some of the day-to-day operations, and you can really get an insight of what's going on in the industry. And so we have programs to help you facilitate that kind of and it's very, very highly recommended. It's well documented that students that complete some sort of internship during their program have better job outcomes. So we highly encourage you to do that. We also have, similar to what I mentioned, is a job shadowing program. So you can just kind of be more of an observer. So it might be just kind of observing someone for the day, like going to work with them. So all of these things can be really, really helpful in expanding your network, getting clarification on what you're doing and what your future job outlook could be like, and then also giving you actual leads for job opportunities. Sometimes these opportunities do turn into full-time offers. So it's definitely really great to use UNT when you're a student. to have these experiences. So let's go ahead and go on to the next page. So phase one, these are things that I would think about completing early in your program. So everybody's going to be different. It may not be necessarily right in the first semester, maybe the first year. So think about these activities and think about how you might implement some of these. The first thing I would suggest is to really understand what your program requirements are. Our website on the Career Center has a link to your internship requirement if there is one. So understand how many credits you need to take before you're eligible for an internship, where it would go in the program. If it's not required, where could one go? What grade requirements, just everything that you can, because it does take some time to secure these experiences. And if you're a person that needs the internship, your timeline for creating your resume, getting everything together is going to be sooner than someone that isn't needing this for their program, because you will be interviewing and applying and networking for your internship and clinical opportunities or requirements. So that is the first thing that I would do. And then I would really look at professional development workshops, look at the schedule, decide on one or two that you just want to check out. No expectations, show up, see what it's all about. I think that it's really helpful when you first start a program to get to know your faculty, make an introduction, develop a relationship where you can share your goals. They might be able to help you. They have industry contacts. They may have research or project opportunities for you that they are working on that you could possibly be part of. The possibilities are endless. So I would definitely do that. And also your department. Find out who in the department is the coordinator of student employment, who hires the GAs, who hires the TAs. What's that all about? So that's really important in case you possibly want to maybe have a teaching job while you're here in your program. So definitely get your Handshake account up and going. On our Career Center website, you can actually create an account and you can let us know what kind of newsletters you want, what kind of alerts do you want. So you can customize your experience. So you're really getting notifications that make sense for you. You're going to be getting so many emails and so many notifications. So if you go ahead and go to those profiles, then you can customize really things that you want to see. So I would definitely suggest doing that. Also, we have a graduate school council, the GSC. They are your representatives. So this government organization might be something you want to get involved in, but you should at least be aware of it. See, they're here for you. They're supporting you. You can share your ideas, what your needs are, what you see that is working. If you have suggestions for improvement, this is your organization. So they're really active on social media and they have meetings and they have leadership opportunities. So I would definitely at least get connected with GSC. If you like taking tests, we have a couple of personality and career assessment tools on our website that I do think are very helpful, because it confirms anytime you're making a change, anytime you're doing something new, doing one of these assessments can kind of give you a good check-in. So these are free resources. My plan is based on the Myers-Briggs personality inventory test. You may have heard of that. And you can see what, with your results, what careers align. So this is helpful for determining basically what kind of environment, working environment you feel most comfortable in, and helps you kind of see helps you have an understanding of other personality types so you can have learning opportunities to grow in your communication as you go through your program, as you're working in teams on your projects and in your courses. And then Imagine PhD actually is quite helpful for master's students as well. It is free and it is on our website. And what this is, it's a complete resource tool. It has the assessments, and it has an opportunity for you to create goals within the platform. So you can, and it has different areas of career buckets. So research is one, advocacy is one, teaching is one. So there is, I think, 9 career buckets, and it has a lot of great information about if you want this career path, what are some of the steps that you can take. There's templates. There's actually job shadowing opportunities that you can do on your own, where someone that's in a particular role has created a project for you to do, and you can complete it on your own, kind of work through what you don't know, what you know, where any gaps are, things that you, and this is all information that you can put on your resume or share in an interview that you are seeking out these types of opportunities. So Imagine PhD, you use your UNT email to sign up, and it's on our website under resources. And it's really, it's created by PhD students. It primarily is focused on the social science majors, but I found it also helpful for people that are interested in teaching in higher ed. And another point I want to make in phase 1 is just maybe taking a look at the National Association of Colleges and Employers, NACE. That is our guiding body that helps us do right by the students when they're working on internships. We use this, some of these principles in working with employers on campus, and they have reported competencies that they're looking for in graduates. There's competencies, and you can look at what those are. Communication is one, and all the steps under each competency that you can do, actual activities that you can do to increase your career, to be very familiar of what employers are looking for outside of the degree, outside of just the diploma, but other activities where you can actually document and demonstrate that you have these particular skills. So this is what the employers are telling us. So a lot of what I do is I listen to what the employers are saying about what kind of resumes they're liking to see or needing to see, and then also what really they're looking for when they're hiring. Okay, so let's go on to phase 2. So phase 2 is a little bit more involved. So when you're ready, when you're going to be busy, and I realize that you probably may be working and juggling many different responsibilities. So these are just suggestions, and they may not be appropriate for you, but they're suggestions when you kind of want to move into a bit more serious phase of career management. So one is Mean Green Mentors. What is that? That is a mentoring system where we have successful alum and professionals and employers that have signed up to mentor UNT students. So when you sign up for this, you can choose, I'd like to have a mentor that's a scientist because I'm a science major, or I want a that has a high level position in local municipalities because I'm studying public administration. So you can choose the kind of mentor that you think would be helpful for you. And you work together on parameters for objectives for the meetings, for the length of the meetings. And you can, I've known that students have received job offers or internship offers because of the commitment that these mentors have put in to sharing their connections with current students. So definitely consider that. Consider trying to get a leadership opportunity. So I mentioned professional organizations, student organizations in your area, anything that you can do that while you're at UNT to show a leadership experience will definitely be helpful on your resume. Another tip, anybody that even thinks that they may want to teach someday, and as a master's or PhD student, that is definitely a possibility. We have a fantastic free program called Graduate Student Teaching Excellence. It's GSTEP for short. And this is basically teaches any major, any program, how to teach. So whether you're a business student, whether you're an engineering student, go through the GSTEP process and get a certificate, and it is posted on your transcript. And so it teaches you how to formulate a teaching philosophy, how to set up a course, how to create teaching documents, how to do virtual online teaching. So you may be an expert in your subject or working on becoming an expert, but teaching that is a very different thing. So this program is a benefit. It's free. It's all online, and you can do it as long as you're enrolled in a minimum number of grad classes, and you just do it alongside whatever other courses you're taking. But you do register for it, and it's on your transcript. So I think that's a really great thing to consider. In phase 2, you should have your resume and CV polished. You should be continuing to attend career events. And again, those professional organizations. Student fees are much more reasonable. This is a time where you might think about, where am I housing my projects? How, if anybody asked me about what I was doing, do I have a place that I could share? And this is especially important. Maybe you're in more of a creative field, or maybe you're doing some research. So you might want to be thinking about the free ePortfolio that we have at UNT, where you can, at the very least, put your academic work in and just put it there. Maybe you think that you will move on to a doctoral program someday, or maybe you just want to put it all there for now. It's a nice interface. It's like your own website, and you can customize it. You may want your own website. You may want to put some of this stuff on LinkedIn. So now we're more in the phase of kind of your personal brand, sharing with others what you're doing, seeing if they might want to partner with you, if they might want to contact you for work, but just sharing your accomplishments along the way and having those organized is really, really helpful. At this point, you hopefully will either have completed an internship or a job shadowing and report that to the Career Center. The students that do that have a special cord at graduation. And we like to know about it because, one, we highlight those students, we share what they've done, and then it also helps us know what they're doing so we can get more opportunities for more and more students. Now, if you can't do an internship, if your schedule absolutely, does not permit it, that's okay. There may be something that you can do that's just a one-day thing, or maybe one of these events, maybe just networking with an employer and creating a connection that may open up a wonderful opportunity. So just being open to what you can do. Organizing and updating your work and projects. I've found it very helpful for you to for students to keep their work, like basically if they took their resume and took sections out, like their experience. I work a lot with students in taking their research projects, their presentations, their work that they're doing as a grad student, and showing it as basically as you would a job, giving those action verbs, quantifying, showing what impact you had on your team. So it's really helpful to have that, not just your actual work, but as you go through semester, and sometimes it gets confusing and there's so much going on, but having a place where this semester, what really evaluating, this was the highlights, this went really well, I got great on this, I know I made a positive impact in this. Just keeping track of all your great stuff that you're doing. This is the point where you might want to have an elevator pitch ready to go, and the Career Center can help you create that or polish it up. This is where, when you are interacting with employers, what are you saying? If they can't ask you any questions and they said, tell me about yourself, what would you say that would open up a interest for them to learn more about and have a possible interview or to discuss a possible opportunity? So that's pretty important. And then an introductory email is something I suggest. This is basically kind of like the elevator pitch, but in email form. So this is when you hear about something, maybe not it's a particular job that you're applying for, but you want to connect with a company. You want to connect with another faculty member. Creating a really letter that's ready to go is really helpful. So we can work on that. And then another thing is the free things that UNT offers, which is LinkedIn Learning and Coursera. So let's just say you're in a non-business program and you really want to get certified in Excel. So these are supplemental additional things that you can do to just grow and to make yourself more marketable, especially on some of these technologies and skills that are really high in demand. Or they could even be more on the soft skill or communication based, where you want to polish up your public speaking. You would like to improve on writing. You want to learn some project management basics. Whatever it is, there are so many options. And if you register through UNT, LinkedIn Learning and Coursera are free. So I think that's great. And we want to keep up with industry. I mean, things are moving so fast. By the time you graduate from your program, there's going to be new and different things. And so you may not have all of the expertise in those, but I think the ability to always seek out learning opportunities, being adaptable, being flexible is something that employers report that they like. So doing things on your own are really show a lot when you're talking to a potential employer.